Hello, everybody. This is Apple Treats. Hello,
Hey
Svetlana.
guys.
Hello, Vladimir.
Hello.
So this is the day after the special event day, right?
Before we start, I just realized that since our previous or episode before it, we airing exactly at Apple time.
Oh yeah, by the
Perfect
way.
match, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like exactly day before there was Tim Cook announcing that there will be a couple of new hardware announcements made, and I think we can spend this episode discussing that. I mean, probably there were a couple of expected things, and we were like, okay, that's something we expected, and there were a couple of things which were, I would say, a little bit less expected and nice.
Yeah, there are a lot to discuss.
I think we can go in the same order as they were in the event. I mean, let's put the iPhone to the end of the episode and start with Apple Watch.
Move.
Yeah, we need somebody to be still present by the end of the episode. So what do you think about the? Let's start with the probably most, I would say, boring part of the announcement, like Series 8 Apple Watch.
Why it's so boring for you? That was really interesting because when they started talking about cycle tracking and evaluation tracking, I thought, okay, they just add this feature into their app, but it not always match how it works in reality because our body is very complex and women body more complex than ours actually. So. And when they told about this temperature sensor, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
This is a huge leap forward over all these competitors' apps that are present on Apple ecosystem.
As far as I understand, they actually wanted this temperature sensor to be precise enough to measure like body temperature by using wrist temperature, but it's not yet there. Maybe the technology, maybe something else. And so they can measure delta. It reminds me actually iPhone 5. I mean, when they added the altitude sensor, which was not actually measuring the altitude, but the shift. So when you go upstairs, it could measure that you're going upstairs or downstairs. And something like that's happening here. Maybe they will be able to improve the sensor later on, or like use some other technology in order to make it, I don't know, detect when you have when your temperature rises to the the rush levels, and you need to like contact the medical physician or something like that. But as of now, it's actually a great feature. I mean, it's and it will also. I believe it will suggest all irregularities in the cycle, and so it's still like even by current implementation, it's still a great feature. But apart from that, Series 8 is just the Series 7 or even Series 6.
Series 7 Plus.
Well, yeah, it's still good.
S.
It's still good. It's still good watch. Let's put it that way, and it still works perfectly. And yeah, they also announced that there will be international roaming for the cellular watches, but I believe it will come to all Apple Watches as well. So it's all with starting, I believe, with Series 4 or Series 5. I do not exactly remember, but that's not the exclusive for
update.
Yeah. And another thing which we announced is the low power mode, which is not the power reserve mode, which is basically nothing. Low power mode will like improve your battery life on the Series 8, like more or less significantly. And if we talk about the Ultra, let's put it aside because the Ultra needs additional discussion.
Series 8, interesting. Okay, Ultra.
Yeah. Well, before Ultra, there were also SE update. So it's like Apple Watch SE, which probably will like be, I don't know, like default Apple Watch for those who don't want to spend money. And the price is actually like $250, like $249 per device. It's actually kind of great price. Let's put it that way. It's a good price for the device.
Yeah, they are quite useful and small, and for girls, for example. So I like them. The first generation, I mean.
Well,
I
yeah.
know that SE stands for seniors.
Well, they promote it as the watch for the children, actually. So which you can set up for the children and even not give them any phones, but rather just the watch.
Yeah, set up.
Yeah, and it's still, I mean, it's still probably a good thing for those who are thinking about like, do I need to invest in Apple Watch and like go all in on it, or I can try and like let's see if it actually, I don't know, comfortable enough to wear them and comfortable enough to use them at any like, and then you can like, okay, it seems that they're good. We can go with the proper generation Apple Watch, or like even go with Ultra. Okay, I mean, let's stop it. Let's talk about
other
Ultra.
watches.
Yeah.
But fall detection and crash detection, so we can
Yeah.
say something about it.
Yeah, I can speak about the fall detection, and I see that the fall detection is a useful feature, even having like a lot of false positives. I mean, when you do something more or less active and you did not enable, or even you did enable the workout apps, it sometimes can trigger a fall detection warning. I had several of those while I was not falling at the time. But even with that, that's still a great feature because like if you fall and you're unconscious, it's still better to have something which will contact emergency services. It's definitely a good thing. And the crash detection in the like with the new high frequency accelerometer and like a lot of other sensors, it's also a good thing about this technology because it probably definitely could save lives. And I would agree this feature is one of those which we probably probably you don't want this feature to like be used much, but when it's used and it will help you, then you will definitely thank it.
It's better to have,
yeah. Let's talk about Ultra. I mean, yes, that's we like in like couple of I don't know like about months, but like a couple of weeks before the announcement, there were a couple of more rumors about this new watch. Initially, people called them Pro. People like expected rubber case, like something like that. And Apple announces the titanium casing and sapphire glass and a lot more things packed into $800 device. And yeah, there will be only one color and only cellular version. That's another interesting.
And one extra button.
Yeah, and another button which is programmable. So like all the developers need to now think like, okay, what can I put into this button?
But they removed the titanium version from normal Series 8. So because it was present in Series 7, I believe.
Yeah. Something like that. And they actually nixed all the edition, Apple Watch edition. So there will be no more expensive Apple Watch, ridiculously expensive Apple Watch for nothing. But it will be now like something athlete-focused Apple Watch. So I recently read a tweet. I unfortunately I can't remember the author, but the idea was that Series 8 is the watch for those who don't want to die, and Ultra is for those who do. So we would probably expect a lot more people driving Ultra Apple Watch to extremes, like driving, crashing them into the rocks and everything. And it seems that probably Apple Watch will survive more than human body will. So, but what do you think about the design? Actually, I mean, it's a little bit different from the all the previous generation. It's not what we expected. Actually, I think.
So
people
personally,
yeah.
it's really strange. So it's not symmetric. So I can't compare it with my watches too, because they are bigger at first, and second, it's not symmetric. Strange, pretty strange.
And the idea is that they will use this additional button. So it's like you cannot switch the buttons. I believe it will only the left button will be programmable and the right one will be as it is right now. So it's like I don't know. I mean, and the overall design choices, we all thought that they will make the Apple Watch with flat edges and design clues from the current iPhones, but the design is actually something else. It's not.
But it's pretty close. So this flat glass. And
but the glass is flat.
Very
yeah.
Thin, very thin border around it. It looks. They really looks expensive. Yeah, 1,000 euros. Yeah, they look like this.
Yeah. Well, I think
really bright display, and it was wow, so bright.
Yeah, it's you need to be extra careful with these watches in some, I don't know, cinemas or any other dark places, because they probably will shine too much. Another thing, I would say that the 36 hours of battery life and up to 60 hours in low power mode, or how they will decide to call them. It's an interesting idea.
Optimization. Yeah, battery optimization. They said.
It's still something which might. So Garmin will probably worry a bit about this. I mean, I'm not sure that that these watches will definitely step into that land of professional sport watches, but I know Garmin or whatever. But it's still something when you want to have generally better looking watch and more I don't know, functional watch, and still have these so-called pro sport features. This looks like it's a good mix of these worlds, and some people might maybe prefer Apple Watch Ultra instead of getting some sporty Garmin watch. Not sure. I mean, again, it's up for the market to decide, but at least it looks so for me. I saw a lot of these Garmin watches. They probably nice in terms of being sport watches, but I can't see myself wearing those. It's just you're wearing a piece of rubber and monochrome display and something like that. And well, I know they have.
Usually when you wear them, no one see you, because
you definitely need to.
Or very, very high and so on. So
overall, the new watch lineup is actually pretty interesting. I mean, I see that I don't see people wearing Series 7 be upgrading to Series 8. That's probably, you can skip this upgrade. I mean, even with the temperature sensor and everything, but it's still something similar. But Ultra, that's an interesting take. I wonder how many people will upgrade to this $800 watches now.
No, I say no, but who knows what will happen in 5 months? I don't know.
Yeah.
By the way, we need to start learning how to pronounce Series 8.
Oh yeah.
8.
Series 8. Yeah. Everybody, I think a lot of people expected this to be Series A or something like that, and but yeah, it's an interesting thing.
And I know why they are not symmetric, because this is a two Apple Watch Max connected through interconnector.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's the reference to M1 Ultra. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay. So one interesting thing about them that you could use it with gloves, so it could be pretty cool in winter, and you could use your watch.
Yeah, that's a good thing. And one more thing I would like to mention is the new watch bands for the Ultra. They are nice. I mean, as always, Apple did some like making simple thing, which is like something which will keep the watch on your hand, looking like something you would definitely want to have. That's a good thing. I'm pretty much sure we will see a lot of knockoffs, like they probably making them already today, and or maybe like some of them were making them even before that. But it's good to see more.
Our watches.
Yeah, it's good to see this happening. I mean, in terms of interesting ideas on making these watches look stylish. Okay.
Enough watch.
Yeah, I think we can move to the AirPods.
How many independent Apple Watch apps do you use?
Let me see. I don't think much. I actively use one or two, but I see a lot of notifications and like actionable notifications which I can respond through the watch. So they still used. I mean, yeah.
I'm just thinking about how. So a couple of years ago, Apple announced that we can now develop watch apps without companion app on iPhone. And I tried to find any of them except some stupid games and nothing. So
yeah,
mostly everyone requires to have an app, a normal app, and so on. And Apple just, after really introducing a new design, new hardware, they should start thinking how to make watchOS more comfortable for developers, because now it's
I would
so
agree.
limited.
Yeah, I would agree. It's something we definitely need to think about, and maybe we as the developers. It's still. I think that's the use cases for the Apple Watch are still like Apple did their job. So it's fitness, it's healthcare, like health, general health, and it's maybe some like health and safety, I would say, and maybe just the notifications on your wrist. So it's like this is what they did, and now we as the developers need to think how can we leverage more about that. And I'm not sure exactly, because it's still harder to add data through the watch. Like if you want to type something, or like if you expect users to talk to the watch, it's not. Like, I mean, you wouldn't be talking to the watch in every place. Sometimes you don't want to talk to your watch.
Because you may like as a spy.
Yeah, or like basically you don't want to look too nerdy, like in the environment, like talking to the watch. Like, well, and
Apple,
by the way, this Ultra. Yeah. Sorry, go
Siri,
ahead.
please add toilet paper to my list.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and the new watch, which will have like 3 microphones, and you can talk it any place. Yeah, you probably could, but would you? I don't know. It's even if you go to the mountains and you want to talk, enter your Zoom meeting somewhere, you will probably still have a phone for that. And I'm still like confused with the watch as the communication device, which like will expect you to listen and talk to the watch. It's something I still not used to this. It's a different thing.
That's true.
Okay.
I know that Sveta really likes our next topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite part. So
let's talk about the headphones. Sveta, it's now your turn.
Okay, but you could join me in this topic. So I'm really inspired by new generation of AirPods Pro, because there will be up to double active noise cancellation, and it could be really useful for people who likes to listen to music in the metro, or watching cinema, and so there are a lot of noisy places, and it could be really cool. And also there are possibility to create your personal special audio interface using true depth camera on your iPhone, and it's just cool because all of us has different size and shape of hair and ears, and you could personalize your profile, and it should provide you with absolutely new audio and cinematic experience. So let's wait for new AirPods and check it.
How many films have you watched with AirPods?
A lot of, really. Yeah. Maybe that's more exception, but I really like them. I spent a lot of time in metro because I need to travel. So, yeah.
I would add another thing to that. So they also announced the adaptive transparency, which is basically the feature when these AirPods Pro are in transparency mode. So when you need to listen for the like environment sounds, so like where you're walking through the city, but you still want some really noisy, like really loud noise to be like toned down. I think so. I'm not sure if those features will be available from the start. I mean, I read a couple of reports that the personalized spatial audio will not be available like from the start. You will need to wait until the I believe the October or like even later. So there will be some software update, and I think the adaptive transparency mode also will be a little bit later. Not sure, but we will see when the first AirPods will be like reviewed by the buyers. And also 6 hours battery life. I mean, that's a big improvement from my perspective. Like, yeah, you can probably take them off, put them to the charging case, and then in some time put them back. But still, like, you can probably spend almost your working day, almost all working day using them. But again, that's not including meetings, because when you're just listening, they spend much less power rather than when you like on the meeting and your microphone is on. So it's I think that will also make it a little bit change. So if you're on the meetings, you will still have to charge them a couple of times during the day.
So you should buy AirPods Manager Edition.
Yeah, though, and I recently went to Apple Store and just tried them out of curiosity. Yes, they are good. I mean, yeah, that's the only excuse for me not to buy them is like maybe they will make the next version and they will make a proper case like out in the box, which you won't want to replace. Like, I don't know, like, because if you don't put them to the case, they will consider them as on and they will discharge faster. So it's you need something with the magnets, like to tell them to shut down.
Just buy 2 magnets.
Yeah, to put them to the proper places.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else about the AirPods? Like, probably.
Yeah, one small thing that we could mention is that this new AirPods will have 4 ear tip sizes, including extra small, and it could be useful for somebody who has small ears.
Yeah, that's actually an interesting topic. Like my personal preference is the original AirPods. They fit perfectly for me. All other, including Pro and then like the AirPods third generation, they are a little bit less comfortable for me. I mean, I definitely think they spent a lot of time to make them comfortable for most people, but probably
just for you personally.
Yeah, these are first for me, but the latest generation of AirPods non-Pro, they are a little bit less comfortable for me, and I'm not sure if this fourth size will be like better for me. I'm not again sure that I will need the extra small. I was using medium on the AirPods Pro, and it's still like I'm not used to this kind of like form factor of the headphones. I don't know. It's we'll see again. But the noise cancellation is perfect. I mean, I always take AirPods Pro when I'm on the plane, and that's like without having something on your ears. That helps. You can basically put them in your ears and even have some sleep just turning the noise cancellation, and that helps a lot.
Yeah, but for me, like having these tips detachable is very good because you can clean them separately, and that
is true.
Huge issue with my first generation AirPods. Oh, I had
that. Is true. That is true. And that's still a good thing. Yeah, I would agree.
By the way, do you know if I can buy like extra pair of tips, not the whole set, but just pair, because I need only middle size. I don't need the whole. It's not environmentally friendly.
I think I'm not sure. I was not. I can. What I can do probably, I can go to the Apple Store and ask these geniuses if that's possible. I'm again not fully sure about that. I never tried to do that, but hopefully
maybe
they could.
Somebody of our listeners could answer us.
Yeah, I know that when my first AirPods Pro start crackling, I went to the service and they replaced, and they just gave me the whole package of new tips. Like just they replaced the AirPods and the tips as well. Like basically, so I had a lot more tips right now.
Yeah, I had the same case,
and,
but yeah.
And hopefully the new AirPods will not have this issue with the crackling noises and everything. That's maybe they were.
Mine don't have such issues now, so this exchanged. So after they changed them, everything is fine.
Okay, that is great. Okay, let's now go to the main topic.
Okay. You can charge your case with Apple Watch or MagSafe charger.
Yeah, that's actually a great thing. I wouldn't say that's a game changer, but it's something like really, really weird why you couldn't do that before. So it's a good improvement. And on the other hand, Apple now starts selling AirPods third generation without magnetic charging case. So it's like a slightly cheaper version of the case for the current generation of AirPods 3.
Because now everyone should have Apple Dual charger.
Yeah, but currently the before like this announcement they had all with the wireless charging, and now they're selling without wireless charging. I'm not sure why. I mean, like probably the cheaper version, and just for those who prefer to charge them via cable. Right. There is nothing more for the developers on that. But on the last announcement of the whole thing, I think there are a lot of stuff. But again, we will start like with the iPhone 14 non-Pro.
Let's start from the most freaking stuff that they announced. So now the big iPhone 14 is Plus.
Yes.
Old good days of iPhone 7 and 8 and 6. Yeah, but who remember this? This was so much time ago. So
yeah, it was 6.
Yeah, but why Plus? Just to differentiate it from
the Max.
From the Max that is Pro Max, but it's already differentiated. So it's Pro Max. Pro Plus, yeah, it sounds awkward. Yeah, I agree, but
it's still awkward. Yeah, and Another thing is like there will be no mini. That's a sad thing. And again, a lot of people say that mini is a great device, and probably not a lot of people buying them.
Yeah. So, guys, you lost your chance. So you had to vote by your wallet.
Yeah, not just articles. You should go and buy those phones. So
it has so poor battery life.
Well, no more mini. But overall, another thing which was expected, that the non-Pro models will have the same A15 chip of the iPhone 13, which I'm not sure is a really bad thing to do. I mean, it's the chip is still great. Yeah, definitely you would want a better chip and everything, but apart from that, the chip itself is really capable, and all other improvements which are done like on the device itself, it's still a great phone. I'm not really sure you would want to upgrade from the 13. Like if you had non-Pro 13 or even iPhone 13 Pro, would you like to upgrade to iPhone 14? I'm not sure. I mean, there's nothing much to say about the significant improvements. But, well, unless you want the bigger model. So, but again, if you had iPhone 13 Pro Max, then 14 Plus probably will not like make you more happier. At least you probably can stay with the previous generation phone, especially if you like happy with the color schemes for those.
Yeah, but this can be a solution for those of us who like static peninsula.
Yes. Yeah. We need to talk about the Pro model. Yeah. So but, Apple.
Just a small follow-up on our previous topic. Yes, you can buy 2 sets of ear tips.
Okay.
Like just 2 of them, 2 pairs. Okay.
Cool.
There is another thing. You can still buy the iPhone, I don't know, 12 mini or which one of those. So one of the previous generation mini, they are still there. So you can still buy all the generation or 13 mini. We need to check the Apple Store app.
I believe we didn't have any other mini rather than just 12.
Yeah, I think that was just to 12, so it's still available there. Let me double check it right now, but there will be no more new mini. There will be regular and plus or max if you go Pro. So in regards to the Pro, they ditched the notch. Yeah, now it's peel, which they call dynamic island. And that's the reference to that static peninsula. Yeah, so I mean, we're all expected this to happen, but probably I'm not sure. Like maybe somebody expected, but definitely not everybody expected the idea which Apple put behind that.
Finally, something new.
Yeah. So they actually this area is not just there, like as on Android phones, which they just hole in the UI interface and like you have to deal with that. They made it separate UI element and they built a lot of animations on top of that. And moreover, third-party developers will have access to that particular area, and that's just happening without any like probably not. I didn't see anybody telling that this particular thing will happen. So like everybody expected there will be something there. They expected that there will be camera and microphone indication within that cutout, but nobody said that it will be interactive and it will be like user interface will adjust to have that particular thing on the on the display. So what do you think? I mean, did Apple did great job here, or like overdone, or what?
I think it's much more cooler than when they introduced home indicator on iPhone 10. Yeah, then they refactored their user interface and experience totally, but it was just okay. Yeah, you have this bar on the bottom, swipe it, and you can make some gestures there instead of pushing home button. But this one is it's a masterpiece. So this is that Apple that we love. Apple with attention to every detail, to beautiful animations. And someone said that I miss beautiful, colorful icons in my Finder on Mac. So this was Apple that we love. Now with this is Apple that we love. Probably other stuff is not so significant. That one, oh, it's so beautiful.
Fully agree. I mean, when I just like watching this, they showed this cutout, and then basically within this video, they started to show animations. Like, wow, that's. I mean, we saw this just circular camera holes on other Android phones, and some they had pill-shaped cutouts. None of those took a time to make this particular thing part of the interface. So, like. Yes, we have a hole here, like deal with that. So there is a black point here, like some phones even like did not notify applications about that. So like the applications basically put the content underneath that particular cutout. So I would even think that this notch which Apple introduced previously on the phones and then on the Macs had little, or like not the little, it's just much less attention from the UI. I mean, they didn't spend much time making it something around that. But here, like this whole thing of the animations and making this area tappable and everything, like this is actually a great thing.
Yeah, I hope that in macOS Ventura they start doing something like this with Notch on Mac, because come on, I have too many icons in my status bar. Please, Apple, do something with that. I don't see them at all.
Exactly. So hopefully we will see something like that coming on other things, and maybe they will. This will be something which will trigger more UI changes in other places of operating system, because these animations are looking slightly different than other places, and they might like influence other places later on. So, and another thing, when in June they introduced Live Activities API, it was like quite strange to have significantly crafted SDK for something which will be visible only on the lock screen. So, and the lock screen is not something you are like browsing too much. You typically go from the lock screen somewhere else. Like that's.
But having always on display on my phone.
Yeah, that's. So we all thought about that. So these like Live Activity APIs is a sign of the always on display, which is true. So the new Pro models will have always on display, but it also the way of you controlling this particular notch. So this API will be also your way into not the notch, but dynamic island. Yeah. And so like those of us developers who spent a little bit time studying this particular SDK during the summer will have a little more chance to get your app to use this particular feature of the phone. And,
so there's SwiftUI, right?
It's not about just the SwiftUI, but yeah, to control that particular part, you need basically to submit some metadata and SwiftUI. Yeah. But overall, like
SwiftUI metadata.
Yeah, it's still a great idea of Apple having like multi-purpose frameworks or multi-purpose SDKs, which you like. Okay, this is like will be needed for this, but no, it's exactly a sign of something else. We did know about this something else, but in retrospective, it seems that probably we could think about that. So and yeah, since we're talking about the always on display, it's interesting how good the display will be in terms of like I don't know, burnt images on the display, how the battery life will be and everything. So it's when you see the same picture on the display for a long time, even in this LTPO mode, or like how it's exactly called, low power mode, will it like burn the display, the pixels on the display, or not? I mean,
I believe it's 2022 now. It doesn't work like this. So do you have any issues with your watch?
Yeah, that was the first thing I was thinking. No, but I do remember that when they announced always on display on the watch, they specifically said that there is a technology which like does pixel shuffling, like something like that. So they shift an image a little bit from time to time in order to make to prevent this from happening. Again, not sure if that will still be the case here. We'll see. But hopefully they thought about that.
Otherwise, they will have a lot of warranty cases.
Definitely. And another thing which we need to talk is something which somebody predicted, and that actually happened, the satellite communications. In this case, it's the emergency SOS, and the implementation is actually kind of cool. I mean, we know that...
SOS. Actually, they said that you can share your position with your friends and family while you're out of range.
But it's still like
much more interesting.
Yeah, it's still something which is like you shouldn't be using that all the time, but rather when you definitely need that. So there is a flow when you can select the case why you need to communicate using the satellite. It will look for the satellite, send the message, and you will basically be able to send messages through the satellite, which is cool. I mean, you might not know that, but here in California, we have trails where there is absolutely zero coverage. Like you're on your own, stepping outside your home. Like we have mountain range just right here, and there will be no coverage there, and no Wi-Fi, no cellular. And some people actually fall off cliffs and everything, and that particular feature is something which will be definitely useful for many people. I think the only thing which is like interesting, they said that it will be free with every iPhone 14 purchase for 2 years. And I think they didn't announce any other payment options, and like, will you be able to buy new, like it's for the next years, or you will just basically need to buy a new phone every 2 years?
We don't know. In 2 years, that's fine. But so fall detection without this feature, is it just a bananas? So we don't need it, but with it, but interesting how it works, like, because they showed that not always you can connect to satellite because satellites move too fast. So and they show this when you can just try to.
You need to point the device.
Point your device on this, and when you are down, fall from the mount.
It's still
good that it is there.
Yeah.
It's this wonderful option, but. In this case, I think Apple had to think about something. I don't know, extendable antenna, like this.
I think Apple. they need something something like which will like levitate the phone to the acceptable range, and that it will connect to the satellites, and it will also make these noisy alarms which they have on the new watches, which will like be heard from the distance. And it's still interesting to see a lot of features happening on the phones which are like heavily related to saving your life, or like at least helping you.
There's a big issue in California, right?
Well, by the way, yes, there are people missing which just go for the trail, and the trail is not something like, there are like kind of hard trails, but most of them it's just an actual trail which is marked, and you walk there, and the only thing, you need some common sense in order to bring water with you, and not get out of the trail. And yet still sometimes people get hurt, and sometimes they need assistance, and so having these particular features on your phone, it's definitely a good improvement. And I think it's not just in California. I think that will be like many places where some people will be happy to have these features available. One thing we need to mention that the RC release candidates were released yesterday, as well as release candidates for iOS 15.7, I believe. So there will be another major update to the existing operating system, and the iOS 16 will be released September 12th. So
and no iPadOS.
And no iPadOS. iPadOS will be released in October, probably together with new iPads, and also no macOS right now. So it's just the watchOS, iOS, and tvOS. And yeah, we didn't speak about tvOS because like basically nothing happening there, which is sad. I mean, it was a time when they like first announced the new tvOS, it was like, wow, they will be doing something with that and they will be investing their time. And no.
What do you want?
But they are doing good films.
And the reference to the show Severance at the end, and I believe it's somewhere in the middle as well.
Within AirPods.
Yeah. So it's a nice catch, and the Severance is actually really cool. I mean, it's now probably my favorite TV show on Apple TV Plus. I mean, it's still like there are a couple
What about Ted Lasso? Come on, this is the best.
It's really hard to. Yeah, Ted Lasso is also great, but like Severance is. It was something I was not expecting myself to like. So I was like watching the trailers, like probably like, and again the whole cast, like I'm not sure it's something but like from the first episode, like wow,
I have plans for this evening. Bye.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, the Severance is something I'm really waiting for the next season. Like this is that's just great. It's not the probably like they still have something like episode is ending like with the cliffhanger, and like it's definitely you understand why they're doing that, but it's still a nice show. It's still cool. Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah.
By the way, so no USB-C in your
no
iPhone?
USB-C or in Apple Watch as well.
So no iPhones in Europe soon. Come on.
I think. Oh yeah, we forgot one more thing. I mean, that's also, and then not just no USB-C, but also US model will not have a SIM tray. So this particular thing, which you can probably see here. There will be no such a thing in the next iPhone sold in US. You have to transfer.
But I saw ideas of having
dongles.
Yeah.
That also like was immediately appeared on the Twitter. Yeah, but it's interesting to see Apple removing the headphone jack and then SIM tray. So I think the next to be removed is actually Lightning connector. And there will be no USB-C connector as well. That's something I expect to happen. So in order to deal with Europe, they will basically remove all connectors altogether.
But they need to find a way to deliver fast charging through
that is
MagSafe,
true.
because now
it's slow.
It's very slow.
And another thing, it's not just slow, but when you put that to your charging compartment in the car or whatever, it overheats. I mean, this charging is, for some reason, it heats device much more than it will be heating through the regular charging. That's
because you need an Apple car. Because I don't have any issues with my Apple Dual MagSafe charger, whatever it's called.
The thing with the Apple car, they need to find a better name, because otherwise it will be like highly mixed with Apple Card, which is already here, and
iCar.
Yeah, they need to be more creative with that. And as regards to the Apple Car, well, again, we do not see anything right now about like their approach with the CarPlay interface, which will have all the gauges of the of the display, like even the speed or whatever. That's kind of that's kind of bold statement that they will want to take over the whole screens of your car, and in that case, it doesn't really matter who was manufacturing the car because all you see is Apple.
So I understand. So in the middle of your front panel, they will show you sign up for 3+ months subscription of some.
Yeah. Well, I think they might sell like full subscription. I mean, or like I don't know, the charging subscription as well, like $9.99 for a month. Yeah, and you will have access to something.
Put your Apple Watch nearby.
Okay, yeah. We'll see. I mean, this is definitely an interesting take on the cars, but no AR glasses or whatever right now. And honestly, I don't see any indication of that's happening like for the October or like near future. So all the releases which we have, they do not have anything like which could hint into like soon the release of the such hardware soon. So it's I think it's still next year at least.
I don't. I like
you
my
expect
phone. That's enough. No. I don't need this. So who wants this? Come on.
Well, we all thought that. And the new camera on the Pro model, which has 48 megapixels, but actually will still be mostly used as 12 megapixel camera because they will have the quad pixels. Which seems to be really good in low light performance. So it should be definitely much better in low light now.
Sounds like Retina, but from the outside.
but from the other side. Again, I definitely want to see that in the real world, but it seems that it will have a lot more performance in the low light, and that's something which is even current iPhones still struggle sometime. So you see they do this night mode when you have to hold your phone steady for the 3 seconds, like which is definitely you wouldn't be able to do sometimes. And if that particular camera will solve this particular problem, at least on some level, that will be a great change for the cameras on the phones.
Okay, I have one more topic for off top.
Okay.
Just thanks, Apple. That was wonderful. Static Peninsula. Thank you. So I remember that on WWDC 2020, I believe, the first online event, they showed that you can use your Apple Watch as a AirFit card for to enter the office. And I'm trying to remember. So we have some NFC API, but is it allowed to emit signals like AirFit signals?
No, that's not something you can do right now. But you can add special pass to the wallet, which will have AirFit like NFC signature.
Exactly what I need.
But you need special entitlement, and you need to basically be in touch with Apple for that. So it's not something regular developers can do. But it's still possible.
Enter my home without key. Apple, please.
They have a room key, which is also something I believe. Again, I do not exactly remember the brand, but there are some third-party locks which will support room key.
Yeah, and but this is not what I want.
And another thing, there was the same thing for the car, which is the car key. And one of the great things here, so the BMW said they will support it. And currently you cannot buy in US BMW with this feature because of chip shortages. So they this particular feature from all of the cars, and they were first to support, and they basically decided not to.
So they finished disassembling all washing machines?
I don't know. Yeah. So we will see in regards to this room key and everything. And if for the third party developers, you have to have the special signature for the pass keys in order to be able to use the NFC part. it's possible, but like you need some kind of permission. And there were a couple of third-party services which will allow you to create pass using their certificate, which has this entitlement. So you basically can create them through them, which is like not secure way, but you can do that as a proof of concept.
Okay, I will try.
Okay, I think that would be it for today, and some of us will start collecting, like putting some money to the side in order to be able to purchase new iPhone or AirPods or this ultra something or not. We'll see. And for those of you who are listening or watching us, thank you very much. That was an interesting announcement yesterday, and hopefully you had something new to, like, you knew something, listen to something new on our podcast as well. Sorry, that was a long day already.
We just started in your vacation.
Oh yeah, but we have a heat wave for the, like, I don't know, it's almost a week here. And,
so you feel like you are Intel-based MacBook, right?
Oh yeah, you like basically all the Intel-based computers are standing here and like doing some
No,
heavy job.
you are.
Or I am. Yeah, maybe. That's just too much. But hopefully next week it will be a little bit more cooler here, and we'll see. So yeah, if you don't have that kind of problem, so don't be mad at us. It's heatwave is not a joke, and it's just great that the power didn't went down right now. I mean, there were a couple of reports in the area when some communities lost their power because of the excessive usage of the electricity. So yeah, that's happening here as well.
Let's stop this.
Yeah. Thank you everybody, and we will see you hopefully in 2 weeks, maybe 3. Like, expect us to be on the air soon, and watch the announcements.
Okay. See you.
Yeah, thank you.
Stay safe. Bye.
Bye.
Take care.